Hello. And yes, this is a Gilmore Girls cup. If you know, we're already besties. Gals, this is what your pregnant friend wants instead of a shower. Or maybe with a shower if it's her first one, okay? She wants a nesting party. This is what we're talking about today. If you can't tell, I am very pregnant. Baby boy is coming any day now, which is super exciting. And so I just had one of these myself a few weeks ago, and it was lovely in all the ways. If this is a new concept to you, let's talk about it, because it's a new concept to a lot of us, I think. But the concept isn't new. I believe that women have been doing this for each other for hundreds, thousands of years, since the beginning of time. Like, birth is since the beginning of time. And community, I just picture, used to be so rich and fulfilling, and like you literally lived in villages and you just did everything together. So I believe this came a little bit more naturally, whereas to now, in our overconnected, not connected world, it's something that we have to talk about and we have to plan for, and that's beautiful in its own way too. A few years ago, I threw a nesting party for one of my good friends, and I just made like this quick little reel to encourage women to do it themselves, and it blew up the internet. Like, it was crazy. So I just wanted to read some of my favorite comments from it that I was like, this is what people want, this is what women want, this is what mamas want. And you can go find it on my Instagram if you want, but there was like hundreds of comments, hundreds, if not thousands, I'm not even sure, of shares. And I've seen people doing it. Not that this is, again, not my idea. I think I saw it on Pinterest or something and was like, yes, let's do that. Let's do that for our people, okay? So here's some of the comments that I loved, that I was like, this is what the women want. This made me tear up. So beautiful. I would rather have this than a baby shower. What amazing idea. No baby shower. This is it. This is amazing. This is what I needed as a first-time mom. This is what mamas want. This is a beautiful way to love your village, love your women, love your people in your life, and welcome this baby in to their home in such a practical way. And again, not that baby showers are bad. I loved my first baby. This is my second baby. Fourth pregnancy. Second baby coming earthside. And so with my first, we had a huge baby shower. I loved every second of it. I planned it myself because I was just looking forward to it for years and years when we were trying and had our losses. And so there is a time and place for that, I believe, especially in like that first time, first like made into mother. But this was just beautiful in like such a different way, and especially when it's like a subsequent pregnancy, you don't need as much. Like even now I'm like, oh, like he's coming literally any day. Like, do I need to get some stuff ready? I like washed his onesies yesterday. All they need is mama, and you'll figure it out one step at a time. And I feel like that's what's so beautiful about the nesting party, because it just helps women embrace that and helps women lean into that, and lean into a time together and to feel loved and nourished and a part of something bigger than themselves, because they're gonna need that as the baby grows and comes out and they're trying to figure out all the things that come along with newborn and motherhood in general. So yes, these women are saying this. I believe there's a time and place for both a baby shower and a nesting party, but I also believe that if you can only have one, maybe look into like, what would a nesting party look like? There will be clothes, there will be gadgets, there will be things, and I think people will still buy you those things. Like you do need some of those things, or even want some of those things, which is fine and beautiful. Last week, my community did this for me, and I was a puddle the whole time. There maybe is a timeline, like I was 37 weeks pregnant, almost 38, and I was like, maybe we should have done this sooner because I just love you guys so much. But those feelings needed to come out, and they did. So yeah, I was a puddle the whole time. My friend threw it at her house. We made freezer meals. We prepped one of my favorite electrolyte lemonade drinks that I want to drink during birth and postpartum. My girls wrote on prayer flags. I'm going to have them in my breathing room. They wrote on cards that I'm going to have in my postpartum space to read and get encouraged. We all sat around the table, had a big heart to heart. I shared some of my fears. I cried. They cried. They prayed over me about specific things that I am fearful about, excited about, wondering about. Just truly what I needed in these last few weeks of pregnancy. To be real, this pregnancy has been really hard in a lot of ways, and my pregnancy was with my first daughter. Well, our losses obviously were hard in a different way. Those were my first 2 pregnancies, and then my pregnancy with my daughter was honestly really beautiful. I was sick for like a little bit, but then I felt pretty good. I was in a really good spot learning from my losses, so I was in a really good spot nourishment wise. I was feeding myself well. I was at a good soft healthy weight to like be fertile, and that's another story for another time, which I do have a video about my fertility journey. I'll link that. But this pregnancy, there was just a lot going on. Every pregnancy is so different, and my body, I think, was just a little depleted, so it took a bit. I feel great now, 38 weeks plus pregnant, but it was a little rough at the beginning, so I just processed that with them. Not even the beginning. It was a little bit rough for like most of it, but beautiful, and it brought up a lot of emotions. I believe that pregnancy, like, you just mold into a higher version of yourself. Okay, not in like a woo-woo way, okay, but like a more authentic version of yourself every pregnancy and every child, every life experience, really. But motherhood is just this thing that you are just, you're growing a human, but you're like turning into a different human yourself at the same time. And I also believe that like mother to daughter and then mother to son, so I'm having different genders, is like a whole different thing. It invites you to look at your past and your background and your story. And yeah, I just wasn't expecting that this pregnancy, and we went through it. Me and my counselor, I love her so much. Shout out to you, Des. It was beautiful. Anyways, that's a little side tangent about like just it's like no pressure, and if you're not a talker, that's fine too. You don't have to talk about your emotions. You can just be like, please come over. This is the list of things I have to do. But I just think it's so beautiful, and that's one of the best things about community, is being seen, being heard, being loved, especially in such a tender time of pregnancy, stepping into postpartum, knowing those people are there for you on those like really, really hard days. You can just call them, text them, ask for help. There are a few ideas. Like I said, there's no rules here, but I have 5 ideas for what you could do at your postpartum party. I would love to hear if you have ideas for like, this would be really cool to do. I would love to hear it. My favorite one, prep freezer meals, because it's so overwhelming. I remember the first time 2.5 years ago, learning how to like have a baby on your boob all the time. Wow. And then learning how to like, do they like to be set down? Do they not? And then all in the back of your head, you're like, but I also need to eat because I'm starving. If you're breastfeeding, you will be starving. And you're not, I like wasn't used to that because I was so full all the time. You know, you just feel so full in pregnancy. So then you come and the baby's out and you're like, I could eat a whole cow, like the whole cow. So having food in your freezer, in your fridge, in your pantry is going to be literally a lifesaver for you and for your baby. You're nourishing another human. You need so many calories. That is another tangent for another day, but you need to eat so much. And I think women just are not nourishing themselves enough in that stage with like nourishing foods. This is not a time for those nasty prepackaged meals. Like, please take some time. Okay, that's my opinion. Your body postpartum needs love and care, just like you're giving love and care to your newborn. You deserve to be taken care of just as much as your newborn deserves to be taken care of. You are literally your newborn's life source. Remember that. Even if you're not breastfeeding, you are their life source. They calm down by your scent. They calm down by your presence. All they want is mom. They were inside of you for 9+ months. Like, they just want mom. You are their life source. This is a time to take care of yourself as you're taking care of another human. Or 2 or 3. I don't know. Some people have multiple. You know. You go, mama. Okay, meal ideas. Egg bites, because you're going to be hungry in the morning. Overnight oats, shepherd's pie, nourishing soups, protein balls, protein gummies. That's one of my favorite things because it fills you really fast. You can stock your pantry. You can put bone broth, smoothie ingredients, rice to make congee. I'm going to come out with something for like sharing some actual recipes for these things, but congee is a traditional way to cook rice, especially in the early postpartum days, that it's just easy to digest. So I ate a lot of rice, a lot of oatmeal, dried tea leaves to make all these beautiful teas that are going to help her, dried fruit to eat with her gummies and her cheese and her to pair with her protein. So give the gal protein. Did you hear me on that? She needs protein. She is making milk probably all the time and not sleeping, and protein helps on every level. One of my favorite books for this, just for a resource for you, is called The First 40 Days. I should have brought it to show you. I can link it in the description. Okay, 2, clean and organize their home. Don't you just want to like cry happy tears thinking about your house being clean and like you didn't do it? Or you like walk on the floor and you're like, there's no crumbs. This is cool. You get to stare out your window and it's clean with your newborn in your hands, and you just remember how your girls were there loving on you and taking care of you and preparing you for this to like soak in this time. I just believe every woman would love to have their house cleaned. And if you don't have the time, this is something that you can gift them to, which is like just hire sometime before baby comes a professional house cleaner to just deep clean their house. Such a lovely gift. Help them organize all their baby gifts that they've been given, or like the hand-me-downs and stuff that they have previously. Like I have a bunch of neutral stuff from Aniston that I had to clean and do laundry and stuff like that. So you could help them do something like that if that's something that overwhelms them. That's something I actually wanted to do because it was just like a moment, precious moment. But if laundry is something that overwhelms them, and do that for them. And every woman just melt at the sight of a onesie that's like this big, and you're like, how was my baby ever that small? How is this baby gonna be my? It's just a miracle. It's just a miracle. Okay, 3, hang out with their kids if they have other kids. This can look a lot of ways. Like, ask her what she wants. Does she want a little break? And like, you could take them to the park. You bring them to your house. You could, as other girls are doing something else, and you could do a craft with them. I'm going to talk about this a little bit later, but like you could make a little prayer flag for mama, and they can paint it depending on the ages, obviously, right? Or you can bring the kids into it, like assign one of your friends your toddler or multiple toddlers or whatever, and they're going to help you cook in the kitchen. They're going to help you make the protein balls. They're going to help you make the smoothie stuff, or put the dry ingredients in pretty jars, like whatever it is. But let's just make this a generational thing, right? Especially if you have like little daughters. This would be a beautiful thing for them to witness and start to get into their brains and their hearts. Like, oh, this is like how we love people in our life. So, amen. Amen. 4, okay, talk about birth. And everyone's different in this. obviously if it's their first, their second, their third, their fourth, their share your own positive experiences or positive experiences you've heard about. If you haven't personally given birth, talk about like what a miracle their body is, what their body has done the last 9 months. Remind them, because they're probably very tired. Speaking from experience, remind them all their body has done, all that God is doing in them, what is happening in their womb. Like, look up, what is their baby doing right now? How it just like is watch like a YouTube video about what is happening inside a woman's body. It is literally just a miracle. And just don't let them forget that. Like, bring that to the forefront of their mind, help them release those good feeling hormones. This is going to help their birth experience. This is going to help them like get through the last few weeks. This is going to help them get through the last few weeks of like, when are you coming? Are you coming early? Are you coming late? Just, I know, right on time. But it's good to remember those things. Have her walk through what she wants her birth experience to look like, no matter what number it is. I just did this with my doula, love you, Allie, and just process like what my last birth looked like and what I want this birth to look like. What do I want it to look differently? Like, what would my ideal time of day be? What do I want medicine? Do I not want medicine? Like, maybe not the big decisions. She probably already has made these, but process the things about like, why do I want to take an epidural? Why do I not want to take an epidural? What is this fear? What fears do I have? Help her process those things in a gentle way, and it'll change her birth experience. And she'll have this in her memory as she's going into birth, which is so holy and beautiful. But yeah, it's a beautiful time to process it with it, or like ask questions if you haven't given birth, or if you're not a mom, like help her to think about things that you're like, oh, I just thought that was like second nature. I thought just people knew that. Simply giving her space to dream, think about her experience, process her past experiences, think positively about things is going to change her experience. Fifth one, pray for them. This is really cool. Okay, so talking about the prayer flags, I think it's really cool. Mom proud. I had this idea. So for our wedding party drew on prayer flags, like prayers over us and our marriage, and something we still have. And so then I was like, oh, I should have done that with my first baby. But I was like, but I can do it with this one. And so I love watercolors, and so me and my daughter do watercolors, and I just like gave her a bunch of little pieces of paper that I cut into flags, and I was like, just paint on these. I don't know, I did like 15, 20 or something like that. I'm like, just paint on these, and then I let them dry, cut them into little flags, and brought them to my postpartum party and had my girls write prayers on them. And I'm gonna hang it above like my bed in the birthing room, and then I'm gonna bring it in and like hang it on the wall over here for the days that I'm spending time with my newborn in bed. And I haven't read them yet. I'm gonna read them like during birth, or have my husband or my doula read them to me during birth, to just like help get grounded, bring the Holy Spirit's presence in, and remind myself of how loved I am, how loved my baby boy is. And yeah, but something that's, side note, what I meant to say with that is something that's really cool. I think toddlers are just like they just know things. I didn't give her any direction other than just like paint on these, and she chose all blue tones. Like, they're all beautiful blue tones. And I was just like, do you know, like, we're celebrating, like, obviously we've been saying baby brother, and I just thought that was really cool. So kids know they love being invited and asked into that. And then you can also just have a time of prayer, like me and my friends did, have her share like what she's most afraid of, what she's most excited about, what like her vision for it. Just like lay that before God and pray over her and over her heart, and against any attacks of the enemy, and just take a time of like special prayer and worship over her, and that will go more than anything else in her life, probably. I'll use some good real peace, especially when those hormones are raging. So prayer will be amazing. Pregnancy is just a wild ride. right? Some women feel like it's a beautiful journey. They feel like they're most themselves. They feel like the most beautiful they have in their whole life. And then other women, it feels like you're running a marathon every day with a broken leg or something, or somewhere in between, or days of both. But it's a wild ride. And to just take time to like reflect on that and like honor yourself and your body and your life and your family for all that you just had went through to bring this life into the world, or you're about to bring this life into the world. It's a beautiful way to validate her experience, like bless her time that she just experienced. I also want to acknowledge that I know community can be hard. I have lived in this town, well, I grew up in this town, but then I've been back now in this town I live in for over 10 years. And we've just been really blessed with community. We really pour into each other. It's like the most beautiful thing I've experienced, and I'm so thankful for, and not something I was expecting moving back to my hometown. But I know that that can be really hard for people, and I know the longing to want that. But just to encourage you, like, even if it's just one person that you have, or if it's 30 people, like, it can all be beautiful. Or there's ways that you can engage this in your own life if your friends are far away from you, or just like flipping what you're putting on your registry, especially as a first-time mom, when you're like, I don't know, this is what people told me to put on. Like, let me as a friend tell you, if you can't do something like this, like, just be more mindful about what you put on your list, like asking for, and don't be afraid to ask for things for you because you are the life source, okay? So bone broth, like dried fruit, all these things can come from Amazon. I think the first 40 days you can ship food pre-made, or no matter where you are, you could ask for that as a gift. I know people do meal trains, and if you're doing that, like, maybe just be more specific about what kind of meals you'd like, or what things you like to avoid. I know I'm that way. Like, I didn't want a meal train last time because I just wanted healthy food and not like fast food, or like I didn't know what people used in their house, which is fine. But it's your body, and you get to make that choice in this tender time, and you don't have to like play nice. You get me? You get me. Someone's gonna want to buy you cute clothes, which is beautiful. And there's time and place for that. But it's okay to speak up, to be your own powerful person, to tell the people in your life what you want and what you want for your family in this time. Yes, in the weeks, in the months, in the days that you'll be holding your precious newborn. It'll be amazing, and it's going to feel like it's all about them. But remember, you're worthy of the same love and the same care and the same tender touch and the same nourishment that you're giving your baby 24/7. Body has gone through so much to bring a baby earthside. It is a miracle. I know I keep saying that word, but it is a miracle. You deserve love. You deserve rest. You deserve nourishment. You deserve gentle touch. My daughter's coming. Now I got my little sidekick sitting right here. But let's end it at that. I would love to hear your thoughts about ideas for what you would love at a postpartum party. Please, like, send this to your friends, your gals, your husband, to be like, hey, hint, hint, you should get somebody to do this for me. Or be bold and like ask your friends to do it yourself. To do it yourself. I'd love to connect more. If you haven't, subscribe to my YouTube channel. My goal is to post a video a week or every other week. We'll see what the postpartum time brings. And then I love writing, so sign up for my Substack, and I'll be writing regularly over there as well. All right, we'll talk soon. Much love.